The NBA finals are set. And tonight we have game 1, baby, in San Antonio, Texas. The New York Knicks are taking on the San Antonio Spurs. Before we go too far, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you share the channel with anybody that you know that is an NBA fan. I appreciate it in advance. Now to game 1. I just wanted to do a quick game 1 preview. I want to give my prediction on the series, as well as just give my overall thoughts of what I expect to see in this series. So, first and foremost, game 1 tonight. Who do I think is going to win? I got the Spurs actually tonight. And I have the Spurs winning comfortably. The reason why? I think the Spurs, as we know, just came off a 7-game series. They're a little more still locked in, in my opinion. I think they will be. And for the Knicks, 10 days off in the NBA playoffs usually creates rust. And for a team that's been shooting super well from the 3-point line, I think that in this scenario is going to be a bad thing. For my prediction's sake, I think it's going to be a really bad thing because I don't think this game will be close. I think that the Knicks will shoot way worse than they have this playoff run, and I think that will prevail. That will help the Spurs prevail in this game. Now, I do think there are some matchups that can be exploited on both sides, of course. For the Knicks, I'll go first for the Knicks. For this series overall, I think the Brunson matchup is going to be key. I'm very curious to see who they're going to have initially guarding him, but it kind of doesn't matter because the Spurs are kind of like, versatile, and they're okay switching multiple bodies onto a perimeter guard. So just like they did with Shea in the OKC series, I think they'll handle the Brunson matchup fairly well. I do think that he will have moments where he gets off, but I think for the most part, Stephon Castle does an amazing job getting through screens. And also too, do you really want to create a mismatch with Wimby? I don't think you want to run at that a lot, trying to take Brunson off the dribble versus Wimby, because his length alone helps him recover quicker than usual. And Brunson's not even like the most athletic, so even if he got by him a few times, like Wimby's able to recover because he's just way bigger in stature. As far as the Carl Anthony Towns matchup, I'm also curious to see who starts off guarding him. I don't believe it'll be Wimby. I think Wimby will be on Josh Hart for obvious reasons. Josh Hart knows that those reasons as well. And it's not because he's a really good player, as Josh Hart mentioned, but it's because he can't shoot. And if you've been watching the Spurs, if you've been watching NBA basketball in general, you've noticed that Wimby is best utilized on non-shooters. And when you have a non-shooter on the court, it increases San Antonio Spurs defense dramatically. Axe the Houston Rockets. Axe OKC with iHeart. Axe the Lakers with Aiton and LeBron. Like, if you don't have a big that can space out the floor, it makes it way easier for San Antonio. And then it kind of hurts New York even more that Josh Hart is not even really a big. He just plays in that position. And I think ultimately, either Josh Hart is going to have an amazing shooting series or he's going to have an amazing watching series, which means he will be on the bench watching. I don't think there can be an in between where he's not shooting well, but he's still on the court. So it's either going to be he's shooting well, he's on the court, he's not shooting well, he's not on the court. I think it'll be pretty cut and dry for how his minutes are going to go in this series, which leads me to my prediction for the series. Before I get there, also, I will say the Spurs have the advantage, of course, of Wimby, and they have the advantage of having multiple guards that can dribble, pass, create for themselves off the dribble, and also get to the rim. Now their shooting can come and go, as we've seen in almost every series thus far. Stephon Castle probably is the best shooter right now of the guards, which is it's a surprise. I'll put it that way. Him being the best shooter of the guards right now has been the surprise. For the Spurs, I'm pretty sure it's a welcome surprise. But I do think that their ability to get into the paint, their ability to spray it out to shooters, and their ability to hit Wimby, they've gotten a lot better as the season has progressed. I mean, we're in the NBA Finals, so it's literally the whole season of like data and sample size. They have graduated drastically to being able to find Wimby at the rim. So I do think they're gonna exploit that with Jalen Brunson. I have no idea who he's gonna guard. And to be honest, actually I do know. It would most likely be Champagny because he's of everybody on the court for the Spurs starters, the least versatile offensively. Or should I say least talented offensively. So I do think they'll try to hide him on him, but Champagny does a great job of screening and relocating. So I do think that's going to backfire on the Knicks as well. I believe that the Spurs will ultimately just have too many counters to the things that the Knicks want to go through, which will be Brunson ISOs. It'll be Cat DHOs. It will also be just read and react, read and react, and also a lot of back cutting. Which, if Josh Hart is on the court, all that just means nothing because Wimby will just be standing there at the paint, at the rim waiting. So again, Landry Sham is gonna have to have a big series. Josh Hart, shooting wise, is gonna have a big series. OG cannot afford to not have a great shooting series. Neither can Mikhail. Like I think the Knicks are just gonna have to really, from the 3 point line, just make such a they're gonna have to have such a disparity from the 3 point line that it makes up for their lack of rim protection and their lack of having five guys that can defend at all times. With the Spurs, you have five guys that can defend at all times. Even when they go to their bench, Harper, KJ, and Harrison Barnes, Luke Cornett, like these guys can participate on defense. For the Knicks, they're going to be trying to get Cat and Brunson in pick and rolls. They're going to try to get them in every action, even off ball. So I'm going to be curious. It's really, 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 really interesting to me to see how Mitch and Coach Mike approach this. Game one should be, in my opinion, fun because I'm rooting for the Spurs. I also have the Spurs winning this series. I This sounds really disrespectful, but I think it'll be Spurs in five. I've been seeing a lot of people say Knicks in six, Knicks in seven, but I think those people are hoping more so that the Knicks can push it to 6 or 7 games, but they also understand like the Knicks could lose in 6 or 7. So I don't really think that they really believe that the Knicks are going to win. I think it's more so hope. But this series should be fun. I do think this will be a fun 5 games. I'm not saying like every game will be a blowout. I do think that it'll be fun because games in both of these arenas, both of these fan bases, I will say are, let me think, top three at worst. But I do think that they are the top two teams as far as home crowds go. And for years, it's been OKC in New York to me, but I think the Spurs fans just know the assignment, and that's kind of what it's come down to. They understand what it means to the game to have locked in fans as well as a locked in team, and they've been locked in since March. I peeped that a long time ago. They've been super locked in. So I think these two home crowds will be amazing atmospheres. I think the play on the court will be amazing, but I ultimately think that the Spurs will prevail in 5 games. I do think that Victor Wembanyama will be winning his first NBA championship as well as his first NBA Finals MVP. I do think De'Aaron Fox will be contributing to his first championship. I think in his first season, Dylan Harper will be an NBA champion. Kind of mirroring Sam Cassell in the '90s. It's kind of cool to see that. Uh, Hopefully, as time goes on, we see him progress to a all-star level player as well. So I think this series will be fun. Jalen Brunson, you know what he's bringing. He's gonna bring the scoring. He's gonna bring the flurries. I think Cat is gonna bring the energy. He's gonna bring the 3 pointers. He's gonna bring the playmaking for their team. Mikhail and OG, they're gonna bring energy, hustle. Josh Hart as well. Mitchell off the bench as well. Like we know what these teams are bringing, and I think the way that these two teams are set up, the way that they play night in and night out, they are able and capable of doing it every game, no matter what arena. So I do think that this will be an amazing series. Now, I do think game one will not be as amazing because the layoff, like I said earlier, is going to get to the Knicks, in my opinion. But I think from game two to game five, I think it'll be some great games. And I think, again, the Spurs will just prevail and be, unfortunately, maybe, we don't know. We've been saying this every time a champion wins that a dynasty could come about. I personally said that before the Celtics won their first, and then I definitely was on it when they won it. I was feeling that way with the OKC. I still feel that way, sort of, because they still could make that come to life. So with the Spurs being this young of a team, getting this far this early, I do believe that they could potentially start. And getting rid of Jeremy Shohan, the dynasty starts after you player, which ironically is hilarious because he's a Knick now. So he still found his way to the NBA Finals. But I think the Spurs win. I think the Knicks play the Knicks brand of basketball. I just don't think they'll be on as much of a heater as they've been through the Eastern playoffs. And I think the West Coast just prevails once again. The West just dominates the East as it pertains to winning championships over the last, what, 15 years, I would say. It's been heavy West teams, and I think that continues tonight. Well, it starts tonight, but I think that continues this NBA Finals. I'm Lake Show Jerry. Do me a favor, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, um, and tap in with me. I'll be doing post game reactions as well as pre-game reactions and pre-game previews, should I say. Once again, appreciate y'all. Peace.